Hey everybody, I wanted to do another crazy hard hat hair talk with you all. My topic today just being basically like how to communicate in the trades. And I think that this kind of is a very important topic, mainly because there are so many characters in construction and people that maybe have probably shouldn't be having a lot of responsibility and like everything is riding on them doing something right. So in my experience, I am not a foreman or anything like that. I'm now a journeyman electrician. I've been in the trade for 5 years, and I know how to lay out work for other people, and I know how to very simply give them the information that they need, like no more, no less. And if someone's gonna run lights, I'll tell them where the home run is, the type of material that they're gonna be using to run it, maybe like ceiling height elevation to stay above, and then also like make sure that they have all the hardware and fasteners and one-hole straps, like all the stuff that they'll need. And then I'll lay them out, and then they can go about running their work. I feel like a lot of people do this. Like, a lot of people, when they start out as an apprentice, like, they're like, oh, I'm just trying to learn. And instead of someone who knows a lot meeting them at that point, being like, oh, you need to learn, like, let me teach you. It's just like, I can't believe you don't know this. And then it's like, just, people will just roast you for not knowing this trade that has 80,000 different things. And, I think that's crazy, but that's how it is. So I just kind of that's kind of mainly the reason why I wanted to do this whole channel and these videos, is to kind of provide a sort of education system for people out in the field who maybe didn't take the most traditional route with getting into the trade. So I think that having an accurate way of communicating is very important, because like if you are working with someone, like let's say you have a foreman who talks very quickly or just seems like they're all over the place, that you have a large crew of guys and they like hardly ever give you enough information, and for some reason won't ever let you look at a set of as-built plans to get your bearings so that you can know what's next. So basically I just wanted to like provide like good questions that you should ask, and also what you can expect in terms of how work is dished out. So for one, communication, I would say, is subpar at best. I in particular am probably not helping this situation, but I do not speak Spanish, and I really wish I would just buckle down and learn that thing already. I'm 5 years in the trade. I live in Arizona, and it's, there's an outside of just like working in construction and not knowing a very, 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 very common language. There's a whole set of culture, like a very large language and a huge culture in many different facets that you can learn by learning that language. But beside that point, you will also be communicating with people that are maybe the language that you speak and are a master of is not the language that they were brought up in, and so this is their second language, and maybe their vocabulary and like just in general speech patterns are way different. So like if someone's in a rush and you don't get information that you need, you need to be able to stop someone really quick and make sure that you get the information that you need before the person runs away. So if you are able to have really great pertinent questions that will always get you what you need to know and get you, on your task and with all the stuff that you need for it, that's an amazing set of skills that you can have at your disposal. So I think you making up for the gaps or the someone else's communication skills goes a long way in terms of production. It might not go a long way in terms of your mental, like, oh my God, how does this person not just, like, I just need, like, there's so many different people, like, it doesn't, like, old, young, from, like, the same culture as you, from a different culture as you, and people are just terrible at giving out instructions. And so I think having a very good question system before you leave a task is like, go and do a task. It's very, very important. So if you all have had these questions or things that you do to try to get someone's attention who's like always in a rush or always busy, just let me know. But things that I do is I ask, like, the very basics, like in terms of work, like, if the scope of the work is something, I'll just be like, oh, so what are we providing power for? And that can give you, like, ideas behind, like, certain codes that you'd need. It might give you, like, an idea about how something needs to be ran, like if you're running conduit for something and it goes into a disconnect and you're like, well, I don't know, what are we providing power for? And then they tell you that the voltage is above 250 volts, and you're like, oh, we need bond bushings for this disconnect. And, like, that's something that would give you that information so that you can actually get everything that's required that would be necessary to pass an inspection and not have to make you make multiple trips back and forth. Like, when you walk up to something, you should be able to complete it 100% and then walk away from it and never have to come back. Like, unless you're, like, putting on, like, trim or like you roughed in and now you're following back up to do makeup or something like that. So, like, but, like, you should have the mentality of, this is in front of me, I'm going to be able to make it 100% and, like, not have to come back to it, like, ever again. So being able to ask those questions that can, like, get you moving and get, like, the work in a very, like, near done